Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Uh, it is a beautiful day. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are too. Going to do one here on direction and momentum. Uh, first, I should say I just put up a video over on Patreon. It's called Friends. It's about the importance of friends and friendships, and in kind of a way that I think most people don't think about it. You've heard the saying that it's not what you know, but who you know. You know, sadly, I mean that's that's true so often, right? In today's world, I guess it always has been. But I say it a little bit differently, and I say it's not what you know, it's who you know and what you know about who you know. Now, you might think that I mean that in a certain way, differently than I actually do, but I go into that a little bit more detail, quite a bit of detail, over on that one, and it's one of the lessons from the Mafia series, and I'm going to change that title. I just don't like it because it's misunderstood by so many people that think they understand the term and don't, and I don't like the connotations that people get from it. I'm probably going to change it to lessons from the Don or something like that, and you can make that to whatever you want to be. It's you can Don Corleone, Don Pepino, which is what they call Joe Bonanno, or Don whatever. It's lessons from an old tradition that served an entire segment of society very well as they survived challenges, and will serve you. It will serve everyone very well through not just challenging times but good times. It can turn challenging times into good times. That's the important thing, and that's really the reason for that series that I do there. Now, so if you're interested in that, it's over on Patreon. And I do also want to say, why do I put things over on Patreon? It's not, if you don't want to go over there, that's fine. It's not that I need the dollar. Okay, I don't. That's not how I make any of my money. It's more of it's a cover charge, to be real honest. You charge a cover charge in a bar to keep the fights down, not necessarily to make the money. And by the same token, and I've heard other people say this about their channels, although they make a lot more off of Patreon than I do. I'll be honest, I have no idea what I make over there. Okay? I've never even checked. Okay, but it's kind of a way that if you feel like this information is worth something, well, if it's not worth a dollar, you don't want to watch it anyway, right? So that's just kind of, I've found that the comments over there are tend to be very thoughtful, very contributory. Not that a lot of the comments on YouTube aren't, because they are. Your comments are just great. I love reading them. I love getting them, and I love responding to them. But that's just something over there if that so many people have such, let me say, superficial and thereby misleading ideas and opinions of some of the things that I talk about over there, that it's just not going to serve the purpose. And so often I'll get questions and comments that really kind of detract, from what I'm trying to say. And these are people that more want to express their opinion than really listen and learn. And so that's what we're kind of doing. That's what I do over there. I use it as kind of a classroom for things that I don't cover here. So if you want to, if you don't think it's worth a buck, that's fine. But that's kind of why I do that. It's just a little fence, just a little thing to include those that I think are the more serious people and the more serious students that want to learn about things that most people don't. Most people don't haven't had the opportunity, and I have, so I'll share them. Anyway, back to this one. If you ask my kids, they will tell you that I think that just everything in the world is a life lesson. That's because I do. Pretty much everything. Anything that you see can be a life lesson. I used to have, when people used to come and want to take martial arts from me, one of the first things that I would ask them is why they wanted to take it. And I'd get a variety of answers. Uh, you know, Discipline, concentration, all sorts of things. Clear on down to I want to become a better person. I want to learn the secrets of life. Things like that. And I'd explain to them that I bet you can learn all of that laying bricks. You know, uh, there is nothing secret and special about martial arts that particularly teaches those things that other endeavors don't. It's not that you can't learn those things in martial arts, you certainly can. But you can learn them in many other things. And so I'd say the reason to study martial arts is to learn to fight, okay, to defend yourself, or if you just want to do it as an activity, there's nothing wrong with that. But and if you want to do it to develop those other aspects of yourself, those qualities and disciplines, that's fine too. But don't think that martial arts is the secret way to develop these things, right? Because the whole world is a lesson, and that's what my kids will tell you that I say, because it is. Today they were out there. My kids, they're having the best time. Without all these organized activities. They'll come out in the backyard and they'll jump on the trampoline and they'll run all over the place and they'll stack wood and they'll dig holes and we planted a bunch of watermelon the other day and they just have the best time at it. And then the oldest, Aiden, will take the others for rides in the wheelbarrow. And they have a certain kind of a track that he's laid out. To where he'll take them zooming up and down the hills and between the trees and everything on the wheelbarrow, and they just get the biggest kick out of it. I think it's great because it builds him up and it gives them, it's fun for them. Well, he came in all tired. I was in getting a cup of coffee, and he came in all tired. He says, "Whew," he said, "I'm tired because I was trying to make it up as I went along, instead of doing the normal course that I've set out." And so, I kept changing directions, and I kept deciding to go up a hill where I hadn't before, and I'd stop, and I'd have to push him up the hill and all that. And he says, "Man, that wore me out." And I said, "That is a life lesson." And I told him I'm going to use that in today's video. And he looked at me kind of funny, like, "Okay, Dad, that's Dad, right? Everything's a lesson." Well, that is a lesson. He can blast these others around this yard, seemed like for hours. Up hills, down hills, between trees, over the over the valley and through the wood, as the saying goes, whatever. And just do it and do it and do it when he's following the path that he knows, the direction that he knows he's going. When he tried to stop and make it up as he went along, he found that he had lost his momentum. The momentum that he was using to get up these hills and through the different obstacles, it was gone because he was kind of making it up as he went along. This is, and it doesn't have to be, I don't have to explain this for a half an hour. It's easy to see. When we know the direction we're going, okay, and we head out on it and we keep it up, and prepping, that's like prepping being a daily activity, that you set your goal, you know then what direction you have to go to get to that goal, and then you get on it. And as long as you stay on it, it's smooth sailing. I mean, pretty much. You gotta keep at it. It takes some effort, but it's smoother than if you're making it up as you go along. And when you just make it up as you go along, there's fits and starts, and you don't know which way to go. And then to get up that hill that you didn't know you were going to decide to go up, it takes 10 times the effort. And this is a way that a lot of people do. A lot of people approach their life like this, and a lot of people who are kind of new to prepping kind of do it that way too. So for you newer people, it is important to know the direction you're going, set the course in front of you, and get started and keep your momentum going. And even for more, experienced people, it's important to keep that in mind. Keep the momentum going, and I'll talk a little bit, probably more about that. I don't want to make this a long one because I got other things to do, but I finally went out to a couple of stores, and I think this idea of momentum, I'm gonna put it in the next one too. I'll try to shoot tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. You know your goal. You should know your goal. That means that you know what direction you have to go to get there. And then once you get started, keep up your momentum because it's a lot easier that way. Okay? All right. So remember, if you're interested in that other stuff, uh, the link to Patreon's down here. I don't have different levels or anything. A buck will get you in. And if not, I'll keep seeing you here. And you all have a great day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And part of that preparation is building and maintaining that momentum. So you all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.